All right, well, we're live, day 3 of the Philly show. It's Sunday, Flyers Day. This is pretty awesome. Got some legends behind us signing some autographs.
Yes.
I'm here with Mac and Alex. Jeez, I almost called you Anthony. I don't know why. It's weird.
Do I give Anthony vibes?
No, yeah, not at all. Like, I was so worried calling Mac Mick or like
Mick?
or mac and cheese.
Hey, Mick.
Yeah.
Mick's a cool name. I'd go with that one.
No, Mac, dude, it's been so much fun with you guys this weekend. Thanks for letting me crash your dinner last night. That was awesome. That was pretty cool. Luckily I didn't crash my car, but it's not working right now. So my wife is a town over, and she's like, "You got to figure that out." I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna call the Cruising app, which is our proud sponsor." So the irony of everything, and they're gonna switch out my battery, and hopefully that changes everything. But they were on the phone with me last night. Trying to troubleshoot it. So it's pretty cool. Family-owned company, an app that not only allows you to get on the road faster, it's very much affordable. So a lot of these roadside assistant apps don't really tell you when the mechanic's going to get there. This actually, it's like an Uber ride. It tells you exactly where they are, and you share locations, and they show up on time. So it's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Wow.
I've never actually heard of it. Are they around the country?
So they're going to be, but it's a startup in PA. They have
Okay.
over 2,000 users right now, and over 60 mechanics on the road. So
You're an early adopter.
yeah. No, I met the company. They're,
In on the ground.
yeah, and it's entry level. I'm going to invest in it. No, I'm just kidding. So I just wanted to recap the whole weekend. I know it's not over yet, but there's been some epic stuff. Mac, you had an experience that may cause hygiene in your life to take a back seat, and that's
No one told my wife. So, big Iverson fan, and I knew he'd be around. You never really know, though, with these shows, if you're really going to have any interaction with him or
Right.
not. So you kind of have to go in with low expectations. And just happened to was helping a friend do some content. And Iverson goes into the photo booth to start doing photos with some of the fans. I wasn't enough room for me in there, so I just stand kind of right outside the entryway. And then I hear him drop these words like, "I want to go greet the fans." Or Alex, what exactly did he say? It's something along these.
He said he wanted to make his fans happy,
all right.
right? So I was inside the actual photo booth, and he came in, and they were trying to get him positioned to the actual spot to take the photos. It's like, no, I want to go make my fans happy.
So
Love it.
he bursts through the curtain. Seriously, bursts through it right in front of me. And I'm like, this is a great camera. So I pull it out, start doing content. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm arm's length from him. So when he's done, I just kind of hold out the fist for a bump. And I'm like, maybe he goes for it, maybe he doesn't.
Yeah.
And I had no expectation. And he did it. So I got a fist bump from Iverson. Haven't washed his hand, probably won't ever. And it's going to be a problem at some point.
He is now only eating with his right hand.
Yeah.
Like left hand, he's not doing it. You got to figure out everything.
It's a bold move by you, though, because imagine how devastated you are if he's like, "Nah, bro."
Oh, and someone would have seen that. People would have been like, "Oh, that guy right there." Like Iverson didn't give him the fist bump. Like I
Right.
would have been that guy.
I was waiting for him to do the whole, when you put fist bump, like 20 years and stuff like that.
I love it.
I was going for whatever I could get. So I got it. Made the show for me.
That's awesome. I'm happy for you, man. That's an experience and a half. I took the high road. Bartolo seemed one thing with the athletes signing all this stuff behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. It's fatiguing,
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And it's like they're in the zone. Obviously they're trying to do some stuff. So I was like a fly on the wall. Like I ironically, we tried to jump my car last night. Me and my the producer Ty. And we learned a trick from Urban Youth Racing School. Like if there's battery acid, you could pour soda on it, and it will clear. Yeah, it will make the connectors work. So I was trying to get a can of soda out of the VIP area, and I end up being a fly on the wall. And it's AI talking to Shady, and they're just talking about how they have to be there for the younger athletes that are now playing. That's their role now. And it was just really cool to be a fly on the wall, but also it's waiting for the conversation to end so I can get my soda to get my car to
Hey
start.
man, can I get my soda now?
Yeah. But it was really cool.
But yeah, so the whole experience, and I told Mac, we're from Virginia, come up here and being in this town, Philadelphia, sports in general is an incredible. The fandom of this
No.
Philly fans that are just constantly coming out to the show. And I know I talked to you about it before. It's just like I've been to a lot of shows around the country, and I don't think there's another one that compares. Maybe a couple of the New York shows,
Right.
because these shows are focused directly on those teams, but
Mm-hmm.
a lot of these cities and stuff don't have all four major
Yeah.
teams.
Yeah,
Very true.
It's true.
Right? So the amount of fans that come out for the Philly teams is just remarkable. And you hear it, not being from this area, you already hear it. You Eagle fans throwing snowballs.
Oh
at
my
Santa,
God, yeah,
and,
yeah.
and everything else, how the atmosphere it is, and Philly's playoff baseball.
Yeah,
and
Red
everything.
October.
Yeah, and you literally you can see it, when you're here walking around all 3 days. I mean, it's Sunday. I mean, the Eagles are playing today here against in-state rival,
Yeah.
right? And there's still tons of people here.
Yeah, it's nuts too. And the Flyers, they haven't won a Stanley Cup in over 50 years.
Has it been that long?
Or-
I
yeah.
didn't know. Okay.
But I mean, these guys, these are champs behind us, and they still draw a crowd, and that's a testament to the loyalty of the fan base, but also to the history, the rich history of Philadelphia. So they are loyal. I will say they are a little bit spoiled nowadays. No offense, Philly. They expect way too much all of a sudden. Like, they wanted Nick Sirianni fired. All he had to do was get a bad haircut, and now they're 9 wins in a row. So it's just, it's insane. Today probably will be the 10th. And I was worried. I mean, Nakobe Dean was here. You had Cooper DeJean, BG. I know he's on the injured reserve, but there was all the Eagles were here. Every single past, present, future, they were all here. And I'm like, I hope nobody gets sick, or I hope they don't come out tired.
Be safe out here.
Fatigue, arm fatigue. Like, he's like, oh, I forgot my play. I was too busy signing.
Do you think the Eagles are sending the Giants a Christmas card thanking them for just going with Daniel Jones instead of
It's insane. Like that, and for it to have to play out, like, and the fact that management, ownership have those videos that they have to see through Hard Knocks for the rest of their lives is hilarious. It's just, first off, if you're going to draft Saquon like that in front of the quarterbacks that were in that draft and everything, you better make them your franchise player forever. So the fact that they didn't do that is hilarious. The fact that they decided they're going to do that with Daniel Jones and then drop him within a half a season of no Barkley is insane as well. So, like, it's just like nothing in New York football is going right, whether it's the Jets or the Giants. So it's pretty hilarious.
So Barkley was drafted in front of Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson.
Who are they? No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. I'm just totally messing with you. I'm totally
I love it.
messing
I love
He's
it.
not a big football guy,
Yeah.
so I at least had to make sure
No,
he's fully
I
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
I get it. I'm
Well,
picking up your
but that's what I love about these trade shows, man, because, like, you still know a one-of-one. You would still respect the fact that, oh, man, that is a chase card out of baseball because of your passion for collecting, your passion for that. Whereas, like, I like ripping packs and finding Met players. I like ripping packs and finding guys that I care about, right? And then hope I get their one-on-one. Like what happened with Paul yesterday, getting that one-on-one from Jess, right?
Yes.
Was it? Yes.
Yeah, from in the back.
Yeah.
Who
So
got a one of one? What did I miss? I missed something.
Matt Strom got a one-on-one from my bad. And then it's just it's a cool experience when you really go through the different ways people trade or the different ways they get here, right? And then the memorabilia side, people wanting a picture with AI, people wanting that type of fan experience, whether it be a signature, stuff like that. So it's really, really cool. But for me, it's more of the sports side that I'm like excited about, So seeing those guys, seeing all the different. There's an Abe Lincoln photo like out there.
There's
it's
everything.
It's
There's
insane.
everything it
It's
shows.
insane. Yeah, it's so cool. It's
We
so
saw
cool.
Queen Elizabeth, didn't we?
Yeah, we saw a Queen Elizabeth card that was out there.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, these type of shows, it's great because, they're starting to build into more of, I always say, like, some of these shows need to have more stuff for the whole family. Like, just have a couple of ladies come in with the crafts and stuff, little
I
craft
agree.
show in the corner and
Antique
everything.
Roadshow on one side.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The wives can go over there and, start picking around. I mean, there's a fudge spot that's over here that's incredible.
Right.
It's some good
Moonshine.
Yeah, it's good fudge over there, but that's stuff you don't normally see at the shows and everything. And they're expanding because they're going into the collectibles of vintage shirts or sneakers and all that other stuff and everything. You can find plushies. You can find. If you're thinking about it, I mean, there's museum pieces.
That's insane.
Game used bats and
Yeah.
greats and everything else. And those are, we talk about all these other shows we go to, and especially the biggest one, the National, and everything. And that's 100% a museum. Like when you have game used like Babe Ruth jersey chilling, in a display, being able to see it and stuff like. I mean, at the National last year, they had the figures at I think it was Pristine, which just so happens to be the sponsor of the show. The life-size figures of the Power Rangers, the original Power Rangers.
That's insane.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Yeah, that's it's just seeing all that stuff. Like when you get to really truly experience it and see how many people come, how many days. Like Friday, like we didn't have much autographs, but the showroom was packed. And you got to walk around and you just could feel a different vibe, and it was fun. I mean, I got addicted to. I tried to buy a pack, but they wanted me to download some betting app, and I was like, I just want to buy this pack so I can rip it with my friends. And they were like, oh no, you got to download blah 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 bet blah blah blah. I can't say the name, but look, it's so cool. It's so awesome. Did you have an experience this week that you were like, hey, that was awesome? Like, what piece of content that you created, Alex, that you were like, hey man, this is really cool?
There was a lot, and there's stuff that I haven't created yet. The AI experience inside the photo booth, and on top of being out here, he was very, very interactive with all the fans. Like, it was some of the most phenomenal footage and an athlete being down there with his fans that I've ever seen. I would have to say possibly, stuff I did with Cooper DeJean inside the photo booth. Also, he got a couple friendship bracelets from some
I saw
people.
that. That was so cool.
And it just seems like he's constantly. He said he's now starting to collect them because people are giving them to him.
Right.
So seeing that interaction between the fans with the players is just some incredible stuff that you don't normally see, and I got to see it firsthand up close.
That's awesome. You know who I couldn't help but notice that worked from open to close pretty much? Vince Papale.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he didn't stop. I was like, Santa might be the only other person that's going to work as hard as him this December.
He is invincible, right?
He
I
is
guess,
invincible.
man. He did not stop.
I saw him trucking around with his AirPods on back and
Yeah.
forth doing laps
Wasn't
back
on
there.
the bingo card for 2020.
No, that was funny. That was funny.
I love it.
He seems like a great one though. I mean,
But I know we talked about what yours was, just a couple
Yeah.
minutes ago.
yeah. Well, what was yours?
The friendship.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think that's what it all comes down to. Because at the end of the day, all the shows are going to have. I'm not going to say they're all going to have the exact same things, but they're all going to have cards, memorabilia. But I think we come to these big shows because we only get to see each other, like our friend group in the hobby, every quarter probably.
No.
And so to make the trips, it makes it all worth it just to be able to spend time with each other.
Yeah, this is cool, man. I was so excited seeing familiar faces this go around, and I'm looking forward to September. It's the 50th of the Philly show, which is unreal. And I'm already thinking of ways we could help creatively fill this place up even more, man. Because it's cool, but with the power of iHeart and the power of the Philly show, we could definitely do some giveaways for early bird specials and stuff.
Concert here.
Yo, my boss was saying that. How sweet would it be to infuse that? And he's like, I wish like music was a part of this. And I was like, so I sent him the Camila Cabello.
There you go. There you go.
101.
Signed Taylor Swift stuff all over.
Yeah, nah, she makes her way everywhere, man. She's a nut.
You don't think this is on their concert list for the year? This could have been. Maybe next year. Maybe next year.
That's what we discussed it last night. The random videos and stuff that get a lot of traction and stuff like that we like to do and everything. It's a random concert just popping up as an artist. That no one knows coming in for you guys.
Yeah.
Instead of saying all of a sudden having a concert here.
Yeah.
Maybe singing some Philly songs or something like that.
Love it.
Whatever like that.
Yeah.
Would rock this.
Yeah,
place.
I did hear plenty of Eagles chants though yesterday.
Yeah.
There was a lot of Eagles chants being sung out.
Our program director Sean Brace loves to just get anytime he sees a crowd. We could be at a cafeteria. He's like, "Watch this, powers, EA!" Like, it's just so funny.
Well, I know the last show, the Philly Fanatic was roaming around, and he was a celebrity.
He was a celebrity.
He's a celebrity.
I saw his friend in the back.
His friend was showed up.
Yeah. Is that like?
It's like, and everybody is friends.
He was signing though.
Yeah, he was signing stuff. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
But no, like the crowd, like we
Yeah.
saw the people at the Fanatic, Fanatic Fest
Yeah, yeah.
falling around the influencers and stuff. Like he was on the floor and they had a group of
People
and
just
it
chasing
wasn't
him
just
down.
kids. It was
Yeah.
grown individuals.
And listen, that fest, like they pulled from Philly too. So New York, their success is the fact that the Philadelphia fans are so passionate, they will take that ride down the turnpike. Whereas New York won't do that unless they realize it's the Sixers and the tickets are cheaper than the Garden and they actually want to go. Because that became an issue. And then that actually, honestly, when the Mets and Phillies played, the Phillies didn't want to make that same mistake that the Sixers did, letting all the Knicks fans in. So it was very, very difficult as a Met fan to even get a ticket with
Really?
all my connections. I did not have a ticket to the first game in Citizens Bank, so game 1, until the second inning of the game. And the Phillies were already up like 1-0. Schwarber hit a bomb. And then the minute I got into the stadium, the Mets took over and won that game. So they were like, I want to go to game 2. They're like, you're not going to game 2, Powers. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to game 2. So then luckily TickPick hooked me up with 2 seats. So it was awesome. But again, I showed up like second inning. Phillies won that game. So all of a sudden, like the juju wasn't there anymore. But, the Mets did take the series and I got blamed for that.
We've all been there.
Yeah, this has been awesome. I know you just picked up some collectibles that you're gonna rip on for your personal
Yeah.
thing. You want to talk about that real quick? Because I love I don't know who's texting me, right? It's my daughter, but I love the fact that like Disney now has like one of ones and stuff like that, like all these different things. But what did you grab?
So, in addition to sports, I think most collectors collect more than one thing. Let's see, maybe they get in because of one thing, but then they find other things that kind of resonate with them from their childhood. And same with me, like Marvel cards, I also like to pick up, or Star Wars, things like that. And so we just happen to be talking about Marvel, walking up the aisle, and then all of a sudden we're talking about one specific superhero, Moon Knight, and we look, and someone is selling Moon Knight boxes right next to us, and we felt like it was a sign, and we felt like it was the responsible thing to do, is
I
to
agree.
buy more wax.
Yeah.
He said no one ever. But it was like, reasonably priced. We felt like it was the right thing. So we bought 2 boxes. We'll probably rip them in the car.
Yeah, so the responsible thing is while we're driving for a 4-hour drive back, like I'm going to be driving, Hooker's going to be opening packs. And
Nice.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's
I
true.
love it.
Yeah.
Like milestones during the drive.
While we're listening to the NFL games.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
I think that's a nice Sunday right there.
Without a doubt.
Who is your team?
The Dolphins.
Dolphins. All right, my co-host Corey is a huge Dolphins fan.
Yeah.
I feel bad. Tua is learning how to slide, which is exciting. He's starting to stay healthy.
I'm also a diehard Bama fan too, so. It's funny is the Dolphins have drafted over the recent years a lot of Alabama players.
Yeah.
So having the vice president, they got the Waddle, connection also. But so I was born in Florida. First ever professional game I went to was a Dolphins game. My dad said I didn't pay attention to the game, but pay attention to the Dolphins jumping around the whole field and everything.
Yes,
The mascot
right.
as a 5-year-old kid, and stuff like that. But I've been a fan ever since. And the power of these shows and stuff. CSA show, the national. I've got to interview Dan Marino.
That's awesome.
I got to interview Bob Greasy.
That's
and
sick.
everything, and it's just those are the greats. And Dan Marino was my number 1 guy. And
Yeah.
being able to do that at the national this past year was just like the highlight of it. I'm just
That was an incredible
like
video,
it was
too.
the video you can see. When I start to get a little choked up right
Yeah,
away.
yeah.
And he actually grabs me and brings me back, down to earth, and I'm just and then boom, we're straight in the interview. It's just surreal going back and looking at it.
Yeah, that's incredible, man. That's so cool. I was fortunate enough to get a signed football, and I gifted it to Corey. He loves the Dolphins. He gets it from his dad. But also, I'm convinced Ace Ventura, like we're 80s babies, so like that came out like we were like 8 or 9 years old. So it was like
That
I
shaped
think,
the fandom, you think?
Yeah, I think that guaranteed he was the Dolphins fan because he has a twin brother. He's a Giants fan, and the older 2 are Giants as well. So he was the only one that didn't turn his back on his dad. So it's him and his dad as Dolphins fans. Dolphins are coming to play the Jets in New York, and we're going to go. The tickets are like dirt cheap because the Jets are terrible. Yeah. So it's gonna be a fun time. But yeah, that's so cool, man.
Now have given me a new bucket list item that I want. An 8x10 or 16 or whatever
Oh.
of Jim Carrey and Dan Marino in that
Oh,
scene.
you
that's a good
gotta.
idea.
That's
That's
a
a good
Signed-
idea.
Signed by both of them.
Yeah.
Oh, you need to. Does that exist? Do they have that?
Without
somewhere?
it, I know.
Oh, yeah.
If not, I can make it.
Yeah.
I tried so hard. Butch Husky from the Mets. He's in the Men in Black movie where like a UFO comes and he misses like a pop up.
Yeah.
So they show Shea Stadium and he
Yeah.
like looks up and like I had that picture and I was trying to get his signature and I was asking around everywhere. Like and I had to be a teenager or whatever. I was just trying to get in touch
That's
with
a good
him
one.
and I could never. But it was like. It was one of those things I was trying. And it was before the internet was too crazy.
Right.
You couldn't DM a guy. I should try now.
You're
Be
just
like,
sending him letters.
yeah, handwritten letters,
this
like throwing bottles into the ocean, hoping he gets it. No, it was so cool. But that's the other thing, man. Like speaking of that, father son, father daughter, mother son. I've seen it all, and you know, the craziest thing is when you look at these suitcases, they have so much money in collectibles in those suitcases that it's like a car, right?
Yeah.
No, it's like house.
House, yeah.
Houses.
That's
Yeah.
insane. And they're 12-year-old kids.
Wild.
I mentioned this yesterday when we were hanging out, but I saw a trade happen at the food court, and there were stacks of money, and these kids are like 9 or 10 years old, and the one kid like shakes his hand like it was a
Oh, yeah.
business transaction, and it when I went to be a fly on the wall on the trade night,
Oh, you did go over
and yeah, everybody was like way super like in like. It was like I was walking into a business deal
Yeah.
and I needed to mind my business, eat pizza in the corner, and let you guys, like, because I couldn't even understand it. There was a table. It looked like they were playing poker. And there was like 4 of them with their cards lined up, and they're just like looking at each other, like, who's going to blink first, you know? And then the one guy that I watched, he the card he wanted, he acted like it was the one he didn't want. And then he negotiated to get that
Yeah.
card, and he just goes,
I will admit, there's some
Yeah.
incredible life and business lessons that come from being in the hobby. The transactional nature, they're like, especially for kids, of learning about,
of course.
you know, financial responsibility and things
Mm.
like that. It very quickly, though, you realize these kids are much sharper. Their brains work a lot better than ours do, and they
Right.
remember numbers like crazy.
Mhm.
And they're the ones that always come up, and they're like doing the math quicker than I am. And I'm like, oh god. I was like, you know, please don't fleece me. But it is incredible. But yeah, I mean, you see these kids, and some of them do carry around massive cases with more heat than you know what to do with,
Yeah.
and it's, you know, it is what it is.
It's
But
unbelievable. It's so cool. It's so cool. I definitely, by next time you see me, I'll have some type of case. I got to get my daughter here. I was talking to her. We're addicted to Pokemon. That's like our thing.
Yeah.
But we just buy it at Target or whatever. But it's fun, man.
so she's really into it.
Yeah, she is. She really
Yeah.
is. Like, we got into like Pokemon Go together. Like, we would go to like theme parks
This guy.
and do that. Yeah, it was awesome, man. So ironically, actually, we started doing it while my wife was pregnant with her, and so because we're going, doctor's like, you got to keep walking, you got to keep walking.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So I was like, want to play Pokemon? And then next thing you know, we were like sharing an account, and then she had her own account, and then I found out she had a burner. I was like, you're
Whoa.
cheating, bro.
Nah.
Nah.
You go Fest or
Yeah.
Spark Zone and stuff like that. I don't know.
But,
I
um,
actually traveled around the country going to the Go Fest and stuff
Dude,
like
it was-
that. Me and my son. Yeah.
It's so cool. It was epic, man. To reinvent that franchise is remarkable, and they did a great job. And then Jansen now plays the trading card game app thing.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not into that yet, but you know, we rip a ton of Pokemon, and you know, we were playing Go up to, we're at Hershey Park last week, and she's like, Dad, turn it on. Because it is good at parks. Like if you try to do it like at home or whatever, it's not as great unless you're just trying to.
Every ride, every little thing's a Pokestop.
Yo,
every
it's great.
gym, it's
Yeah.
everywhere. Just
But also, like, it's kind of cool. Like, you'll find things that you maybe wouldn't have went on. It's better than the park map, in my humble opinion.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we got to go on Medusa. I forgot about that
Oh
one.
yeah, takes you places you probably wouldn't have gone. before.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
That's a good point.
Well, there was some article that came out. I forget who told me. It might have been Ryan sent me it. That literally Niantic's data that they
Oh,
picked
yeah.
up from
Oh,
everybody
God,
from
that's amazing
has
data.
literally been feeded to GPS.
Yep.
and stuff
Yeah,
for
they're
maps.
using it.
Yeah.
They
They're using it.
they utilized us to map the entire world, essentially. Yeah,
And
it's
it's legit. Like, I mean, you know
Yeah.
It's nuts. It's nuts. It's so much
Have
fun.
you all
but-
popped it open here? I mean, are we sitting in the middle of Pokemon Go gold mine right now?
I did
I haven't
not.
opened it in a while.
I feel
Yeah.
like missed
The problem is like I get too into it and then you miss things and
then you
like
forget to do work, and then you're
Yeah, oh, it's-
you haven't
it-
showered in 4 days, and it's a slippery slope.
Oh, no, it is. It's 100% a slippery slope. Especially when it's not going to work.
but like you'll be somewhere and be like, oh, that's where World War II officially ended, and like it's like in your backyard.
But there's
like,
Snorlax. But
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a few roaming around. Here, right? This one supposed to stop. It'd be
There you
great
go.
to get a shiny right now.
It's crazy too because the fact that like it just kept evolving too, and I think that's really cool with the gaming industry. How like look at Fortnite, like it's just insane. They just keep evolving, evolving.
Super insane.
Yeah, and then we're huge Roblox fans.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Lego missed the boat on that, and they don't miss many boats,
No.
but they should have.
all the kids are on that now.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. If, and we partner with them, iHeart and stuff, because like they need the radio side of it. We need their younger
Yeah,
audience.
yeah. Are
So-
adults on it too? Like, or is it mostly kids at this point?
On which platform?
Roblox.
Roblox is it's mostly kids. Hopefully, like you're always scared. And that's the other thing. This world's getting so much tighter and stuff. You gotta watch those chats. It's tough to be a dad, but it's the average age is 6, 7 to like 19.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So and then our demo is 19 to 65. So like we're like, hey, we gotta
Yeah.
cross pollinate here.
Yeah.
Maybe a few more Minecrafters.
Yeah.
Very good point too.
But look, man, I know you guys got to get on the road soon, but I appreciate everything. This was so much fun. Any final thoughts or anything you want to? Socials, share your socials.
Oh yeah. So I'm just Mac_card collection on most of the social networks.
Yeah, and I'm Army ATC 22 on pretty much all the socials, and just always remember, when you're these type of places and shows, and you're just out in everyday life, just be nice. Right?
That's it.
Be someone that you're doing something. It's like that's what you would want out of it.
No.
Just be a nice person and stuff like that. And if you're collecting, just collect what you want. Just collect what you want, and you're gonna be completely fine.
Yeah, I try to tell people that all the time. Do good and do good. Good things will happen eventually. Like it does. You could get into a rut where you're the guy doing good and the guy not doing so good is the one winning. But yeah, if you just focus on yourself, try to be positive. Somebody asked me the other day, like, why are you always happy? And I was like, it takes more energy to be negative, So stay positive.
Read the book The Secret.
Yeah,
Read
yep.
the book The Secret, and you'll completely understand.
So I've had a blast, guys. I appreciate you both. Yeah, man. Safe trip home, and we'll be
Appreciate you, dude.
we'll be back soon.
Try not to break everything on the way out of here.
Nah, it's all good. We'll be right back. We're going to take a quick break, wrap things up over here. Sean Bray should be here this afternoon, at least to take this 10 away from me. So I'll get him on. But we'll be right back live from the Philly show.
Cool.
Awesome.
Folks, we're only up to number 20 with Bernie Bron right now, so I'm going to call up to number 30. We'll take tickets 1 through 30 for Bernie Bron. Tickets 1 through 40 for Bernie Bron. Joe Watson. Final call for Joe Watson, for Terry Crisp, and Tom Bladen. This is final call for autograph tickets. Tom Bladen, Terry Crisp, and Joe Watson. Okay, if you have a gold or platinum VIP for Garrett or for Larry Goodenough, you can come into the autograph area at this time. Gold or platinum VIP for Larry Goodenough. Okay, once again, if you have a digital photo op for Dave Schultz, you can come into the autograph area at this time. Last and final call for Tom Bladen and Terry Crisp. If you have a platinum or gold VIP for Gary Dornhofer or Don Selesky, you can come into the autograph area. Okay, Larry Goodenough, tickets 1 through 20. If you have a digital photo op for Don Selesky or Gary Dornhofer, you can make your way into the autograph area. Again, if you have a digital photo op for Gary Dornhofer or Don Selesky, you can make your way into the autograph area. Bob Kelly, tickets 1 through 10. Autograph tickets 1 through 10 for Dave Schultz. 1 through 10 for Dave Schultz. Okay, Bob Kelly, tickets 1 through 20. Bernie Curran, tickets 1 through 50. Bob Kelly, tickets 1 through 30. Okay, Gary Dornhofer, tickets 1 through 10. And Don Selesky, tickets 1 through 10. Larry Goodenough, tickets 1 through 30. Bob Kelly, tickets 1 through 50. And Larry Goodenough, tickets 1 through 40. Okay, Bernie Perrant, tickets 1 through 60. Larry Goodenough, tickets 1 through 50. Okay, we're taking all tickets for Larry Goodenough and Bob Kelly. If you have an autograph ticket for either one, come over here to the autograph area. through 70. We're taking all tickets for Larry Goodenough and Bob Kelly. Gary Dornhofer, tickets 1 through 50. Bernie Perrott, tickets 1 through 80. Okay, Don Selesky, tickets 1 through 30. Okay, once again, this is last call for Bob Kelly. Last call for Bob Kelly. Last call for Larry Goodenough. Okay, Dave Schultz, tickets 1 through 20. Again, last call for Larry Goodenough. We're taking all tickets for Gary Dornhofer. We're taking all tickets for Don Selesky.
sure I get it right. Yeah, I saw it yesterday.
Once again, we're
this
taking
morning.
all autograph tickets.
It's been a rough
for all autograph
to-
guests. Taking all tickets for all guests at this time.
So how'd you get back to your hotel yesterday? Yeah.
I was right across the street. I just walked. So I went to Wawa first to get like a coffee, and then 'cause I had to do a bunch of stuff for work, get all those tickets sent.
Just my head's very small.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right, so we're back. Divide Live, Fox Sports The Gambler. I'm here with this special guest. If you've been to the Philly show, you've probably seen her running around like a mad lady, getting
Yeah.
everything done. But Kayla, Heart of Gold,
Thank
big
you.
collector. You did something awesome for Matt Strom, and I wanted to
did.
try to let the world know what you did. So, first off, how's your week been?
It's been awesome. This is the first time I've gone to the Philly show in nearly 4 years.
Awesome.
And it's elevated the hobby tremendously, and I've very much enjoyed seeing how Philly fans show up for their people.
Yeah.
I am not Phillies or Eagles or Flyers fan myself, but seeing how dedicated the fans are is really something special, and I don't think is replicated really anywhere else.
Yeah, so like for sure, you can't question the passion, right? You could question some of their activities that they do, but you can't question Philadelphia passion.
No, you
That
cannot.
guy's laughing. He knows what I'm talking about, so it's pretty great. Look, so you had a bunch of people that you either were responsible for making sure that their backstage appearance and all any things that they had to do, but one guy in particular you got to walk around with the majority of the day yesterday. You want to share that?
Yeah. So Matt Strom is a fellow collector. I had the chance to meet him 2 years ago at 2 years ago at spring training. I knew he collected. I gifted him some cards then, and he posted it on his story. I thought that was nuts. That's not where the story ends. The following spring training, I messaged him. I was like, "Hey, like, I have some cards. I kind of want to trade you." I didn't really tell him what they were. I had no idea what he was going to trade me. So I gave him an out of 25 Topps Chrome auto of himself. It's an X-Fractor, super hard to find. They don't pop up often. And Andy Young, he collects. He collects all Andy Young cards.
Awesome.
Him and Andy Young played in high school together. His first home run, Andy Young, Matt Strom was in the bullpen. Andy Young's home run lands at Matt Strom's feet in the bullpen, which for them to play high school together
Yeah,
and for that to happen, I'm like, you have to collect him at that point.
of course. Yeah.
So I gifted him those, and he looks at me. He's like, "What do you want for the cards?" And I was like, "I don't know." I was thinking, like, in my head, I was like, "Oh, he'll give me like a signed baseball, something like that."
Right.
He's like, "Well, you want my hat or my cleats?" And I froze there for a second. I was like, I stalled. I had to think about what he was saying, and I was like, "I'll take the cleats." Which was nuts. I didn't anticipate that happening. Matt's a cool guy, but at this show, Brandon, his producer for the Card Life TV, which I featured on after that trade happened, he was here. They were filming. They went on the floor and traded with a whole bunch of kids,
Right.
which is really, really cool. That was the first time he had gotten an opportunity to actually interact with the hobby in that sort of way. A lot of people gifted him his own 101s.
Wow.
And getting to kind of follow him around and help out with the interactions that he had in the back room, signing, with the photo ops. There was a lot of people that were like, "You're my favorite player," or "I collect you because you collect cards," or
Right.
so many things like that. Was really, really cool.
Yeah, like his brother was like, "Yo, Matt got hosed on some of those deals," but I think he wants to grow this. He loves it. It's passionate.
Yes.
So a lot of those kids that traded with him got $75 cards in exchange for a $20 card.
Yes.
So a lot of but he just loves it. He's like, but then the brains behind it was his brother. Like his
Yes,
brother is very, very smart with knowing prospects that are coming up. I mean, he spent his career in the minors. I was able to talk to him about that. But speaking of one-on-one cards, you did something very nice for Matt.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, that kind of took him back. So what did you do?
Matt collects his own cards, and a couple people had given him his own one-on-ones yesterday. And I knew he was going to be at the Philly show, so I was keeping an eye out for the past couple months. I purchased his Allen & Ginter mini 101 from this year, and I gifted it to him, surprised him on video. So I have the footage. Eventually, I'll plug myself at the end, but you can find that footage on my socials. But it was really, really cool to see his raw reaction of getting it. I had told him nothing. He didn't know he was getting anything from me. And yeah, it's going to stay in his collection forever.
That's cool. That's so awesome. Such a unique, like, I love that art and cards are coming together. And we got to talk to a bunch of artists, got to talk to a bunch of, unique ways that the card game's changing, because back in my day, Diamond Kings, like when it was a painted thing, like we were like, like it's cool, but it's not.
Yeah.
So to see it now, like I was a huge fan of Project 70.
Yes.
With I picked up Nolan Ryan, I picked up a Jackie Robinson, all the Pete Alonso cards, Polar Bear Pete. Like it's just like when you have an iconic nickname and then the artist can now make that into a reality.
Yes,
it was,
very cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So what I wanted was to use some of your good deeds, and hopefully we could get something out of an Allen & Ginter pack here.
Yeah, Allen &
That's,
Ginter's fun. I don't know if you've ever opened Allen & Ginter or seen it.
Yes.
But there's a lot of celebrity cards in Allen & Ginter,
Yeah.
which you can't find any other product. There's like a Jason Aldean has an auto in here.
Mhm.
Lil Baby has an auto in here. It's a really, really cool product.
Yeah, I got a Ryder Strong. It was just a normal card, but it's funny because iHeart does his podcast, and I was like, so I showed it to my wife. She's like, I thought you bought baseball cards, and I was like, but yeah, they even have the dog show. Did you see any of those yet?
I
Like,
haven't seen any of those in person, but they have like
Yeah.
the actual relics,
Yes.
like ribbons from
yeah,
that.
exactly.
So.
Yeah. So hopefully we get some. I like how it's also like it's not wax. It's like a paper type.
Oh, I haven't seen one of these. I got a African print painted dog, Oregon Zoo, and it's almost like a chrome card, which I didn't realize this year's set had chrome in them, so that's kind of cool.
That's crazy.
And a gold Ryan Mountcastle.
Look at you.
I saw Ryan Mountcastle play in the minors when I was watching the guy at PC, Austin Hayes.
Yo, we are a day late for this one. Do you see this
Oof,
is?
Bartolo Colon. You could
How
have gotten
he's
that signed
haunting me.
yesterday.
Yeah, I didn't. He was. A lot of the athletes back there are fatigued, right? And I just didn't want to bother him. I got his a handshake, and I was like, you know what, that's worth it. But what are the odds? That's hilarious.
Oh, speaking of the dog show cards.
You got one.
Yeah, I got Rufus.
Yeah, that's awesome.
The Westminster Kennel Club. He was the winner of the Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show in 2006.
Yeah,
That's
that's so funny.
interesting. Like, I wonder how they decided which dogs got put in the set and which didn't.
I agree. I don't know. And also, the one I pulled, I was sad because I realized chances are if the dog was alive, it wouldn't be for
I
that
was just
often.
thinking the same thing. I was
Uh,
like, most of these dogs
Oh,
probably aren't alive
look at this.
anymore. Oh, Paul Skeens rookie. That's pretty solid.
Not bad, not bad.
There's a lot of
Oh,
celebrities
this
in
is
here
my
that I don't
dude.
know. Oh,
Um,
Henry Davis, Louisville guy right there.
Roberto Clemente. I like that they added the older guys and stuff.
I actually share a birthday with Roberto Clemente.
Hmm. Another
Interesting.
Chrome. I didn't know they had Chrome.
So these are almost like X-ray cards in a way.
You got two of them now. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's creepy. I'm not gonna lie. Like I don't want to see the insides
they're
of
a
it.
little funky. I don't know how I feel about those.
I guess I should know who this guy
Oh,
is.
Jackson Merrill Chrome.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
That's good.
Yeah.
To get that and Paul, did you get those in the same pack? The Paul Skeens and
Yeah,
Merrill?
and that, yeah.
I think personally Jackson Merrill should have won Rookie of the Year,
Mm,
but that's just me.
that's just you. Look, and I got Frankie, a doggy.
What year did he win?
That's a great question. I'm sad to find out. Am I crazy? It doesn't say.
Let me see. It might be on the bottom. It doesn't say. He won the 148th Westminster Kennel Club Club Dog Show. Yeah, I don't know. This one doesn't say what year.
Oh, we got another one. We got two more.
Let's see if we can get any more dog cards. So Matt Strom shared a fun story yesterday that in Allen and Ginter, they take the photos for these 2 weeks into spring training. And the gloves that they get, like their Wilsons and the stuff they use during the season,
Right.
don't show up till the week 3 or 4.
Wow.
So Matt Strom is known for his blue glove that he plays with.
Right.
And so they have to be photographed with like just their catching gloves. Like
Right.
the ones they play catch with, the ones they break in to throw. And so he says every time he sees the card and it's just his black catch glove, he's just like, it doesn't look right.
Right.
Because he doesn't have his blue glove, which in every other card I would say he probably does. So maybe
That's-
it's like a one of one in itself.
That's so crazy. Speaking of
Once again, ladies and
crazy,
gentlemen,
look,
if you have an autograph ticket
Jason
for
Aldean, there we go. I mentioned him earlier.
so random.
be back here in the autograph.
Oh, we got a Francisco Lindor.
Nice.
Bernie Perron,
Oh, I did get another dog, Spice.
Don Zaleski up here.
Spice won in 2002.
Sam.
For all athletes at this
Bryce
time.
Harper. Javi Baez.
What did you think of Javier Baez's stints on the Mets?
Very short. I didn't like the thumbs down movement. I felt like it kind of killed the team's vibe. You know,
Okay.
I get it. It made him and Lindor seem like they were negative towards the fan base, and it took a while for us to regroup from that. But, I mean, I was so excited to have him. I feel like, Navy leadership could have protected our team a little bit better. But I like Javi. I really wanted him on there, but just didn't work out. New York's tough in that aspect.
Yeah.
Oh, look. I got another one of these. I was just talking about him.
Oh, Ryder Strong. There we go. Yeah, Danielle Fishel has a card in this as well. I think.
Yes, yeah, the whole Pod Meets World team does.
That's cool. Did you see that she had a Tops Now card as well?
Yes,
Yeah,
throwing
she
out the
threw
first
out the
pitch.
first
I have
pitch.
it.
Did you get the auto version?
I did not. I was so bummed. It was sold out, and they were like, and sometimes they throw it in if you. So I bought like 5. I think I bought like a 10-pack. I'm not gonna lie.
I think I
'cause-
did too, or 5. I was like hoping
Because
to get an auto.
Topanga's she's amazing. So I gifted a few of them, but I was hoping to get like a rare or a one of one or something like that.
You pulled a Sophia Smith and didn't even say anything.
I'm sorry, I was trying to get to it. Yeah, and then I lost track. I also got Olympian
Sophia
Katie
Smith,
Ledecky.
fun fact, is actually engaged to Michael Wilson on the Arizona Cardinals, which
Wow.
most people don't even realize. But they met at Stanford.
No, yeah. Huh. I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he has rookie cards out now too, so they both have cards that are being produced. I hope eventually they'll have like a Mallory and Dansby Swanson had a dual auto this year. Maybe eventually Sophia Smith and Michael Wilson will have a dual auto. We'll see.
I love that. Also, it's kind of weird. I didn't talk about it when I pulled them, but there was like these there's like these state cards. Did you see that? Like
Oh,
Minnesota,
yeah, this one?
New York. Yeah, what is that? Newark to Fremont? Freeport?
Newark to Freeport. Freeport chose Newark as its first sister city in 1994. It was a natural union given that Newark is an origination point of countless commercial flights and private trips to the Bahamas. Interesting.
Very interesting. Well, this has been fun. Where can everybody find you on socials?
Yeah, so Kayla.collects on Instagram. I also write for Collectibles on Sports Illustrated.
It's awesome.
So you can find me there. That's my normal name, Kayla Norsworthy, so a little bit different. And then I also write for Slab Stocks. They have things on their socials. They have a daily newsletter. That's what I write in. And then their Instagram posts, their daily trenders. And I also write for Hobby News Daily, which is just hobbynewsdaily.com. Kayla Norsworthy there. And yeah, it's pretty much.
Do you have any other bucket list moment from this weekend that you wanted to share? Something that happened?
I did buy an Austin Hayes 1 of 1.
Nice.
And Austin Hayes and I go back to when he was in the minors. There's a crazy story with Skittles. I mean, I can share it if you want. So he and I, so the first time I met him was in 2017. short story, he gave me his game use broken bat. Didn't know that could happen when you're in the minors.
Mm.
Stayed in contact with him. He got called up to Double A, skipped Triple A, made it to the majors. The following year, he was in Double A Bowie to start the year, and I interviewed him for my journalism class. Stayed in contact with him. So then a couple years later, he's rehabbing in Frederick, which is the team where I met him. And I was like, he doesn't need to do anything for me. He's done a lot. Like, I don't need him to sign anything. And so I gave him a choice, actually, Skittles or Sour Patch. And so he took the Skittles. He hits a home run that game.
What?
One time was like probably a coincidence, but I'm like, it's definitely the Skittles, right? So then the following game, he's rehabbing in Norfolk, AAA. I give him Skittles, he hits a home run. 2 games. Then in 2019, I think still, he was playing in Baltimore against the Blue Jays. Robs Vlad Jr. of a home run. I give him Skittles this game. This is a Skittle game. I give him Skittles. Robs Vlad Jr. of a home run. Hits a home run his next at bat.
That's insane.
This goes on like over a span of 2 or 3 seasons, 5 or 6 games consecutively where I gave him Skittles and he hit a home run. And that streak's now over, but it's no longer active. Unfortunately, he had like a 4 strikeout game, and I was like, okay, maybe the Skittles magic has worn off.
That's
but
awesome.
yeah, I collect him. I collect all of his cards. So to get an Austin Hayes 1 of 1 is a huge deal. I have over 30 of his 1 of 1s, so not nearly as many 1 of 1s as Matt Strom has of himself. But
Right.
yeah.
I love it. I love it. That's so cool. And, you know, baseball's extremely superstitious.
Yes.
So, like, yeah, he was probably hoping you showed up to any time he
Oh,
was during
yeah.
a slump. You know, so that's amazing. I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for
Thank you for having
all
me.
your hustle and work. And I had a pleasure having dinner with you guys last night.
Yeah.
And, yeah, so where are you going next? What's your next big event?
Good
Anything?
question. I don't know at the time being.
Good.
Possibly spring training again.
Right.
I'll make some content there. Maybe I'll rip something with Matt.
Awesome.
We'll see.
Awesome. Well, I'll be watching on socials, and I'm happy to help any way I can. So
Awesome.
keep
Thank
me
you.
posted on anything you're doing, and I'll be happy to promote it.
Will
All
do.
right.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we'll be right back. We're going to take a quick break. We're live from the Philly show. Things are wrapping up. We got the Flyers Stanley Cup champs behind us signing autographs. It's pretty amazing. Like I said, they still draw a crowd after almost 50 years or over 50 years now. You know, so that's really cool. And things are wrapping up. You could see people really going after the cards that they've been trying to negotiate all week. I've seen some intense conversations, and it's really fun. And this is a really cool hobby and trade. So
It is. I'm glad we could introduce you to it. Now
Yeah.
you're kind of addicted, right?
Kind of, yeah. I might have to seek therapy, but it's been fun.
I mean, hey,
haven't.
we in the hobby we call this retail therapy.
Yeah,
when
it's so
hobby,
true.
Like
Yeah.
Paxi by Target retail therapy.
I like ripping. Like, I don't, and then I like finding cards that I enjoy. Kind of like what Matt was explaining. I'm not like his brother where I'm like, oh, this could be worth something. Like, I'm like, that's the guy I did this with or
Yes.
that with. So,
Yeah.
and I like that Alan and Gunter actually put in Blast from the Past. Like, we pulled a Roberto Clemente,
Yeah.
a Bartolo. Like, that's cool. I really like that. I wish they did that more. You know, in other packs. And also, I on a side note, I feel like I'm like, oh, this isn't a real version of that card. So I don't like the reprints, but I do like things that are different, you know?
Yeah.
So, and this pack is, so.
Yeah. Alan and Gunter is different, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, so we'll be right back from the Philly show. This is Mike Powers, The Divide Live on Fox Sports The Gambler. Cool.
Thank you.
I just have to...
It's kind of interesting hearing it in your headphones.
It is. You hear a little bit of an echo, but...
this is last call for autograph tickets. If you have an autograph ticket for any one of our athletes, Bernie Perron, Dave Schultz, Don Selesky, you need to be back here in the autograph area.
Yeah, you want it? With Bernie? Yeah. Let's go do it. Yeah. We'll be right back. We're going to get Bernie Perron. Right there is perfect if you want. So some space.
Oh man, roles in reverse. I was doing a lot of this at the National, interviewing so many people.
Yeah, it's been a fun weekend, but
Yes.
I'm definitely tired. Let me just
Broad Street Billy.
check the time.
I can't hear you, but you can hear me, right?
You can't hear me?
I can hear you, but I can hear you, but
Um,
I can hear you.
okay. Are you sure? If
Meaning
not,
I can't hear myself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Not too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit because of the speaker,
Yes.
but
Sound is good. Okay.
yeah.
I need to get into radio.
One sec. Just got my assignment for Monday for Jingle Ball, but all right, just logging this. All right. Fox Sports The Gambler, Mike Powers, The Divide Live. I'm here with the man of the hour, the Sam of the hour, actually, right?
Samuel Evans,
Yeah.
sports car collector on Instagram, the hobby principal, courtesy of Alex, who gave me that name.
I love it.
I'm an educator by day.
Yeah.
I am a principal. I run a high school in Chester, PA. 15 years as a principal.
Congrats, man.
And then during COVID, I discovered my passion for cards again. After walking away from the hobby when I was 13, throwing away my cards because life got difficult for me being in North Philly. So I'm just happy to be back and just enjoying the way I explore collecting in like this modern era of collecting, because before, the way I collected, it was my 5 to 10 block radius. Everyone in my neighborhood. Then we got bussed in the Penn Treaty at Fishtown. Then it grew a little bit. And then now just this global way of how we collect and interact with each other. It's just magical. That's my word, nostalgic and magical. And I think those things birth what I call the hobby experience. So,
I agree, man. Out of all the things that could have a rebirth or come back stronger than ever, I'm so happy with collecting cards, because in the 90s, that was the thing, right? Chasing Jordans, Shaq, Ken Griffey, Barry Bonds. Like, it was just like I collected every Met card.
Bo Jackson.
Yeah, Bo, yeah. Oh, man. It's just like, and the list went on, and then all of a sudden it just fizzed out. Like, Pokemon took over for a little bit, and then everybody just went away.
The great bubble, right? The bubble burst.
The bubble popped, yeah.
And, my neighborhood was changing, so that's why a lot of kids walked away. Like, when I was growing up in North Philly collecting, we didn't know about card shows. We didn't know about grading.
Yeah.
We didn't know about the Beckett magazine.
Dude,
it was
barely.
just
Yeah.
our cards wrapped up in rubber bands, or in our sneaker boxes, and trying our best to take care of them. And
Right.
not, we had this slogan in my neighborhood, and we were thankful when the 9-sheet plastic holders came out. 'Cause
Yes.
in that way, we were
On
able
the
to store
binder,
our cards.
yeah. Yep.
And then top loaders and everything. But, it was four sharp corners and no creases.
That was
the
it.
slogan in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So, it's been a magical rebirth for me as a collector in this stage in my life, and just having a lot of fun, sharing it with my students, sharing it with my children, and just being me and being my authentic self.
That's
and,
awesome,
and
man. I
doing
love
it
it.
the right way.
You could tell. Good people, I tend to gravitate to, and you're a good guy.
No, I appreciate that.
I want to talk magical moments. Like, this weekend's been filled with them. Care to share any that really stick in your mind?
So, the one magical moment that I was looking forward to was meeting Dr. J. It happened, but it wasn't the way I wanted to, and that's no fault of his own, because he had a busy day.
Oh, man.
But I would say my magical moment of this Philly show had to be with Bernie Perrant, and just meeting him this morning and
That's
getting
awesome.
to know him and learning his history and who he is, because I collect hockey cards, and I grew up learning about the Broad Street Bullies,
Right.
but not like the individual players, but
Right.
the identity,
Yeah.
the thing that the oomph that came with that, and that was the slogan, you know what I mean?
I love
and
it.
like being from North Philly and knowing, we used to watch hockey on TV, and you would hear stories about these great teams from the 70s and the early 80s, and
Yeah.
they were the Broad Street Bullies. They were the guys, the bruisers, you know what I mean? So, it was just magical, and I got my hockey jersey on from my college. It was just magical to have that moment this morning with some of them, and it was the icing on the cake for me.
Yeah, no,
at the Philly show.
Yeah, I agree. I do feel for some of actually all the athletes that have signed and are willing to do this, because there is some fatigue that happens back
yes.
there.
Yes.
Like Dr. J was going through it, man.
Yeah.
That was I did not want to. I would change places with him any day of the week.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
not yesterday,
Yeah.
because I mean
Yeah.
the amount of signatures, the amount of appearances, the amount of stuff
Yeah.
that he did. But yeah,
No, it's taxing.
it's
taxing.
very
It's
taxing. And he saw it with the
Yeah.
younger group too.
Yeah.
You know, AI, when he first saw the table, he was like, it looked like he had a 1,000-page
Yeah.
book report
Yeah.
due to Principal Sam.
Yes.
Like he
Yes.
was like,
Yes.
this looks like more than we agreed to.
Yeah.
Like, so you got like the vibe that, you know, it's not
Yeah.
necessarily, they're honored to do it because it shows their legacy and people
Yeah.
still want that, but it's taxing.
No, it is
yeah.
taxing, and you know me, like I said, I'm an educator, and
Mhm.
I do a good job of reading the room. And
Yes.
That's what you got to do. You got to
Yeah.
see the room. And I saw it, and I was just like, I don't want to kind of do it right now.
Yeah.
And maybe next time. So my hope is that, you know, one day me and Doc would be able to run it back
Yeah.
and just connect, because, you know, growing up in a basketball household and learning so much about the Sixers, especially that '82 team, and all that it took for Doc to finally get over the hump,
Yeah.
win his first
Ah,
NBA
you're
championship.
so right.
You know, I learned so many stories, and you heard the stories, the conversations,
Mhm.
you know, the old VHS tapes when you watch, you know, the highlights of the Sixers during
Yeah.
that time, and the NBA specials that they would have on. So, you know, it was just a nostalgic moment for me as a kid, and, you know, wanted to like share that with him. But, you know, my hope is that we get to do
It's
a part two
yeah.
the right way.
Oh heck yeah,
you know?
yeah. I'm sure that will
So,
definitely happen.
yeah.
You know, that's the thing about this whole thing. It's like you have all these memories. Like Philly fans, like you see the passion, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, sometimes they get a bad rep. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. I've thrown it out there that I'm like, oh, they beat
They
up
do
Santa.
snowball
They-
that
yeah,
Santa, right?
like that's always the cliche. That's the national cliche. It
Yes.
happened. They've made amends with Santa, everybody, multiple times,
Yes.
but it's still mentioned. You know, and just the fact that it's one team, right? One city, one team for each major sport. You can't dilute the bad fans.
No,
You
you
know, so
can't.
the Mets and the Yankees get to dilute it a little bit. You know, so there's, you know, I do hate when the Mets get big because the Jet fans come over and like they start doing. You could tell that they're not really Mets fans because
Yeah.
they do the Jets chant, but they do METS. I was like, yo, we don't spell our name out, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's the Eagles. That's you. It's weird. Don't do
Yeah.
that here. Get
Yeah.
out of our stadium.
Yeah.
You know, so I am territorial with my New York fan base, but with Philly, man, they're passionate. The Sixers remind me so much of the Mets. Like, you know, I was there with our producer, Ty. We were sitting there when Kawhi hit that doink shot in
Yeah.
and just ruined,
Horrible moment. Tough
one of
moment.
the worst
Tough
moments
moment. Tough moment.
that anybody could
mean,
go through.
It's a great moment for Kawhi
Oh, of course.
and the city of Toronto
Yeah.
and everything.
And
but
Drake at the
horrible-
time.
Yeah, horrible moment for Philadelphia.
Oh, it was horrifying.
You know, but
Oh.
you know, but the interesting thing about that shot,
Mhm.
it tells the story of a city that at one time, you know, in the late 70s, early 80s, we were moments away, plays away
Right.
from being a championship city
No
in
doubt.
all major sports.
Yeah, I've
From the Eagles to
Yeah.
the Sixers, the Flyers, the Phillies, you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
so I going to school in New England, and you know, I went to school at Endicott College, it's like 20 minutes away
Mhm.
from Boston, north of Boston. And then I was up there during the time when the Red Sox broke the curse.
wow.
And you know, New England was New England at
Yeah.
the time, and the Celtics were winning, and the Bruins were winning, and it was like, this is the championship city. And I was like, knowing my history, I would tell people, I was like, what you guys are experiencing right now,
Yeah.
that was Philadelphia
Oh.
in the late 70s and early 80s, and like the moments we could have won in all major sports. So enjoy it while you can,
yeah.
right?
My-
Enjoy it while you can.
The first team to actually give us a shot was the Red Sox. They let us do our podcast from
Yeah.
Fenway.
Oh wow!
And like, yeah, if you're
Yeah.
gonna cut your teeth, that's one to do
yes,
it on.
Yes.
But Ty, my producer, fell in love with Boston, and like, he's like, kind of like not the nicest people, but the
Yeah.
city's beautiful.
Yeah.
And when you don't talk to them and you just look out the horizon,
Yeah.
it's a great place to be at.
I
But-
call myself a Philistonian because like I was born and bred in Philly, but like going to school in the New England area, Boston is what made me. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And it made me come into myself, and I learned a lot of myself, and I matured
That's
up
awesome.
there. So New England has a special place in my heart,
Good.
but I'm proud to be
Philadelphia.
from Philadelphia.
Yeah, so
you know?
that's my. I have the similar thing with Brooklyn. Born in Brooklyn. Now I've been in Philly for 16 years. So I do have a soft spot. Like I do think the ownership of the Eagles, the way they draft, they are finding not only top tier talent, but the best human beings in the world. N'Kobe Dean is an amazing human being. Brendan Graham is an amazing human being. I get it. He had a hot take on WIP last week and caused a little, but I felt like the team got stronger from it.
Yeah.
So
I,
maybe,
I had the opportunity to meet him at like Tops Rip Night.
Nice.
At Will House, and he's just a down to earth guy,
Yo.
just full of love,
Right.
full of good passion and energy. He doesn't let the hype of like being a
Yeah.
big time NFL athlete go to his head.
Yeah.
He's like the true people
Yeah.
person, and like that's the type of person you got to be like in Philly. And like thinking back to like when the Sixers won in '83, I was a baby. You know,
Right.
I was a newborn baby.
Right.
And I think about all the clips that I saw when Moses Malone came to the city as the guy who was going to take us to the promised land.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of the old magazines of him like being in the heart of Philadelphia in places where like the blue collar people
Yeah.
were,
Yeah.
in the neighborhoods and like taking picture with people. And like that's who Brandon reminds me
Yeah.
of. Like,
Yeah.
you know, just being where the people are, and when people express their like feelings and heartfelt thoughts for him,
He
gives
listens.
that right back.
He
and
does.
He listens and he
100%.
gives it right back.
Yep.
And he's not just saying it to say it.
No,
He's saying it because
it's
in that moment,
genuine. Yeah.
like, that's what
Man,
he means.
yeah, and he had
it's
like,
awesome.
if like I got to talk to him off the air and on the air about his family life and things that happened, and you know, and he has every reason in the world to have a cold shoulder,
Yeah.
and he doesn't, and
Yeah.
it's so remarkable. Great human being. That's why everybody thought he was joking when he was saying he was injured, like
Yeah.
because he was still smiling. You know,
Yeah.
he broke down on the air, and it made me just love him even more. But yeah, I was backstage. He's saying hi to people. He sees me and gives me the biggest hug in the world. The
And-
guy's looks like he should be able to play today. I
Yes.
don't get it. Like if I had surgery a week ago,
Yeah.
I'd still be milking that. I'm
Yeah.
like, baby, go get me a drink.
Yeah.
You know.
But like that's the magic of the Philly show. That's the magic of any cardboard show.
Mhm.
And you know, I often tell, like last night at trade night, I said, yes, we're here for cards. We're here to exchange monetary value of what we think our card is worth. But don't forget the reason why we're really here
Yeah.
is to be human beings and
That's it,
interact with
man.
each other.
Yeah.
Partake in that human capital, like listen to each other, hear each other out, and just spend time with each other
Yeah.
and make those connections, because like there's so many stories walking through this room,
Mhm.
and if we all just have this like tunnel vision, I'm here to get the card that I want,
Right.
or I'm here to make the money that I
Right.
want to make, you're missing out on like the true
Right.
wealth
Yeah.
of the hobby.
Just watch
and
it.
it's this
Yeah.
great ecosystem and the people that make up
Yeah.
the ecosystem.
Just watching the different content creators helping each other
Yeah.
get the right content
Yeah.
was pretty awesome. The Bronx Zoo,
Yeah.
who I was considered a friend of me, we got
Yeah.
to squash it on the air. It's kind of cool.
that's
Like he's a
awesome.
great guy. You know, it's just it's been an amazing experience, and it's just so cool to see all the families interacting,
Yeah.
kids, sons, daughters. You know, and it's just yeah, it's something that, yeah, you're right. If it was a business transaction, the trade would go away again.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
it's really a human element that makes you feel great. Sam, thanks, man. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
thanks for educating too. Like I went to school to be a teacher. My degree is history, special ed.
I'm a
And,
history teacher.
Oh,
so yeah.
that's awesome, man.
I don't want
And,
to get on my soapbox about
yeah.
history, but I love history, love teaching, and I could lecture all day. My
Yeah.
students like, Mr. Evans, another lecture. I'm like, yeah, and y'all gonna listen to it, but they
Yeah.
appreciate it. so.
It's crappy because as a society you deserve to be up on that podium
Yeah.
signing signatures
Yeah.
and making good money because like you deserve that.
Yeah.
You're creating the future.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you know, I'll always be in debt to guys like you that do that. jealous. I couldn't do it. I made a decision in my life that I had to financially prosper.
Yeah.
My wife was still in debt to Monmouth University, and I was like, I can't be a teacher and
Yeah.
figure this out. So I had to start, doing other things. So
Yeah.
one day I will be an adjunct professor. I am a substitute teacher in
that's
my
awesome.
home area, and I help out with the Board of Ed. So I'm still there for the kids, but not in the fashion that you do every day, day in, day out. So I want to thank you on that, man. Any final words where they can find you, anything like that?
So yeah, you can find me on Instagram. That's where I make all my content, and I share it across all my social media platforms. It's the Sports Card Collector. It's not spelled the conventional way, but just type in Samuel C. Evans and my name will pop up. And but yeah, just on Instagram, the Sports Card Collector. And if you're looking for like interesting, dope, explorative content, give me a follow. But don't necessarily follow me, but follow the hobby experience,
Yeah.
because the hobby is full of stories, and I just don't want that to get lost.
Amen. Thank you, Sam. This has been awesome. We talked about Bernie, right?
Yes,
and
we
him
did
signing
talk
the
about
card.
Bernie. Bernie
Yeah.
signed my graded card, the plastic on the back. So yeah, I'm gonna keep that in that forever.
That's so
yeah.
awesome, so awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so happy you got to experience all this stuff, and glad I met you, man. This is
No.
awesome, and I look forward to the future. Doing some fun stuff with you. So
Thank you. I
thanks,
appreciate
man.
it, brother.
Of course. We'll be right back. This is Fox Sports The Gambler, Divide Live.
That was awesome. Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
No, so much fun, dude.
Denny is up to no good again. I don't understand why he does this to himself. You know Denny cards? So apparently there was this theft here, and just the way he's like talking about it, as if it's the show's fault. Yeah. Denny's at it again.
Uh-oh. What did you do this time?
Apparently about the whole theft thing last night. He's like talking about it, and he's like, the way he's communicating is like he's blaming the Philly show. And like, why don't they have security? Where is the police presence at? Yeah. Yeah. especially Ric Flair. And anytime my card. Yeah, I was just like, I just want a picture with you. Yeah. I gotta get this covered. But yeah, he's awesome. He's awesome. Ooh, good day. No, Sunday's a good day. Sunday's the day for the collector. The day you walk around. I got a lot of good hot takes. Yeah. Yeah.
I heard that. Yeah, we said that too. Because like, I hear top collection, like top like negotiation. Like
Yeah.
now it's like you can tell the vendors a little bit like want
Yeah.
to close the deal.
Yeah.
But people are like, you're 3 days in a row.
This guy has a Bob Gibson over there. It's a good price, but it's a little off center, and like that's my one card I've been looking for this year. But Sonny's telling me like just wait for my right one. So it's a good price, but it's not pretty. Like those 58 Topps cards, the like quality, like care was just not there in how they cut it. It was just a lot of good rookies in that set, but they just were cut bad. Can we get a picture?
Yes.
You were like me hugging. You were like, I was thinking.
Well, no, I was thinking how I could help. Like if there's a like say I'm like your local, so if there's ever a time you want to like tour the school with like maybe 2 of your students,
Yeah.
tour our studios,
Yeah.
like that'd be awesome.
Oh, that'd be awesome. That'd be
Yeah.
awesome. Because
Down
we
my
have
number.
we actually have a.
Yeah, it was not me
so,
bugging. I was trying to think of something.
Yeah.
Thanks,
We
Casey.
we are an arts integrated school,
Awesome.
so we have a podcast. We have a podcast class. So
Maybe have like somebody come in and
yeah.
talk to the kids.
Appreciate that, brother.
No problem.
I went to school with a guy last name Powers. His name was Kevin Powers.
Oh, okay. No, yeah, we're
He's from the New England area. Though.
yeah, my dad was 101 from Germany. His parents moved during World War II. They moved out there.
Okay.
And like, so he was first generation.
Okay.
So yeah, we got an upgrade when we moved here though. Our name was Pours, P-O-U-E-R-S, and they made it into a double. Oh, W,
Okay.
double. What am I?
No, you good.
A W, and like now we're Powers. So
Interesting.
I'm like, yeah, I'm like, you know what? I'm not mad at that.
Nah,
But everybody
nah,
assumes we're like
nah.
Irish because
Yeah.
of that.
Oh, that's
It is
awesome.
an Irish name.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it's so funny. Like, my daughter turns 9, and she's like, 9 meets snow in Germany for my birthday. Can we go to Germany? It's my 40th too, so
Yeah.
like, let's see what we can do. We're probably gonna go to Germany in August. But
It was a
yeah,
pleasure.
no, likewise, dude. Thank you for
Yeah,
all
let's
you
stay
do.
connected.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. My wheels
Yeah.
were spinning. Even if that podcast, like, I'll
This is dope. So who did you get today?
gentlemen, the time is 2 p.m.